Всем привет! С вами Асма, и вы смотрите канал Асмодиан ТВ. Я продолжаю проходить игру Dragon Age Inquisition. Приятного просмотра! Так, там наши разведчики сейчас должны вернуться. Сейчас мы сделаем небольшое, да. Я набрал 2 новых людей. Я продвинул чуть-чуть сюжет. Значит, что? Правильно. Надо немножечко поговорить с людьми в убежище. Так, ну сначала квесты. Рыжая Дженни. Инквизиции нужны пчелы. Получили чертежи оружия и нашли пасеку для снабжения. Пчеловод, услышав про идею, с улыбкой ответил: «Конечно, это беспокоит». Рецепт бутыли с пчелами. Вторая здесь награда. Культ Андрасте. Удивительно, сколько пещер осталось не открыто даже после прибытия церкви. А ведь они в этих горах перевернули каждый камешек в поисках хоть какого-нибудь связанного со священным прахом. И это все строили не сектанты, это было здесь до них. Кто знает, через сколько лет это еще нашли бы. В большинстве найденных пещер было пусто, где-то реликвии давно пришли в негодность. Но в некоторых удалось найти любопытные артефакты. А еще в одной загадочной руны, которая нам только предстоит расшифровать. Если найдем кого-нибудь, кто в них понимает, это может окупиться. Амулет воскрешения получили. И секреты Андрасти, новая миссия. Рун, обнаруженных в пещере во время недавних поисков, мы никогда не видели прежде. Они не твинтерские и не эльфийские. Возможно, они использовались в эпоху самой Андрасты. Прочесть и перевести надписи могут немногие, и нужно ли это нам, непонятно. И быстрее всего это сделает Жозефина. Так, что у нас тут? Здесь храмовники. А магов я не могу выбрать. Почему? Потому что я еще, наверное, к ним не пришел. Так, останки церкви. Мои дипломатические старания не прошли даром. Многие жрецы оценили нашу помощь. Это были те, кто огорчился, что другие прислушиваются лишь к самым громким и обличающим голосам. Хотя церковь на данный момент политический союзник, должна предупредить, многие жрецы полагают, что это была хитрость, чтобы контролировать выборы верховной жрицы, но последнего мы от них не слышали. Жозефина. Получили влияние и миссию «Правда ли расплата императорский двор». На столе лежит напечатанное письмо, адресованное Вивьен. Сверху приписка: «Жозефина, солнышко, разберись с этим». Дорожайшая Вивьен, вы, должно быть, не слышали возмутительных обвинений, так ли, да? Вы, должно быть, не слышали возмутительных обвинений в адрес Инквизиции, иначе вас бы никогда не увидели в такой компании. Будучи вашей подругой, позволю себе раскрыть вам глаза. Говорят, что верховная жрица Джустиния на самом деле жива, и что Инквизиция, ее приближенные советники и верные слуги разыграли весь этот хаос согласно ее приказам, что искательница Пентагаст и сестра Соловей сорвали конклав, чтобы устранить оппозицию в церкви и одним движением обезглавить армии магов, повстанцев и храмовников. Ради спасения своей репутации вам следует немедленно оборвать это знакомство. С глубочайшим беспокойством, виконтесса Элодди де Моро. Быстрее всего с этим разберется Лилиана. Так, исследовать осколки. Сестра Лилиана. этом пока не будем. Там, по причинам, что есть такое дело, что когда ты открываешь, оно улучшится на уровне, на котором ты открыл. Зачем мне низкого уровня? У меня тут вот внутренних земель хватает. Ну что, ребята? А внутренние земли? Не, я ж собирался точно. Они поделают квесты, а я побалакаю с народом. Де Монтелье. Есть какие-нибудь новости?
Despite our fame, we're low on steadfast allies. We must aim for more.
Any visiting dignitaries I should watch out for?
None in particular. Our guests are well pleased with what they've seen.
Так, тут все в порядке. Сдать.
Yes. Good. Please tell me if you find something.
150 влияния.
You return.
Can you tell me how our people are doing?
What would you like to know?
How are the villagers in Haven doing?
They are terrified. Many of them came here because the war between the Mages and the Templars destroyed their homes. In their minds, the death of the Divine has destroyed any chance of peace. To that, add the breach. Farmers have fled their fields. If we do not restore order, half of Tedasa may starve.
Farewell, revered mother.
Farewell.
You came from the circle at Ostrich, did you not? Senior Enchanter Lydia was a dear friend of mine. Were you at all acquainted?
Lydia was my instructor. She was almost a mother to me.
I never met a wiser soul than her. I understand she was killed by one of her own students when the Ostrich Circle rebelled. I think we both agree that this war must end.
Ребята, перерывчик минут 10. Итак, продолжим.
The war benefits no one. It must end, and order must be restored.
If only the rebels saw things so clearly. Justinian's death has shattered the balance of power in Tedasa. If it is not restored quickly, countless lives will be lost. Mages, Templars, innocent people of all kinds now look to the Inquisition to decide their fate.
That's why you wanted to be here. To have a hand in deciding that fate.
Wouldn't you? For almost 1,000 years, the world believed it was in the hands of the Maker. And now many believe you are the agent of his will. Whatever the truth is, that belief gives you power.
If that's true, then I'll put it to good use.
I suppose we'll see. I've stolen enough of your time, my dear. Don't let me keep you. Yes?
I wanted to ask you about the Circle of Magi.
Oh, what do you wish to know?
You must have an opinion of the Templars after living so long in the Circle.
Having opinions about Templars, my dear, is exactly like having opinions about mages or Navarrans or men. I have known some who were impossible to endure and some who were utterly charming. I have suffered insults at the hands of those in the armor, but no more than I endured from nobles or tradesmen in Val Royaux. Personally, I have found the Templars a useful tool, skilled at keeping more unpleasant elements at bay.
If the Circle disbanded, how can you still belong to it?
The Circle is an idea, my dear, and an idea cannot be dissolved. Many of the first enchanters voted for rebellion, caring little that anything short of a unanimous decision would pit mage against mage. Rather than dissolving it, Grand Enchanter Fiona's vote split the Circle in two. The rebels follow her, the loyalists follow me.
If you lead all the Loyalists, why are you only First Enchanter and not Grand Enchanter?
Grand Enchanters are elected, and since there are no First Enchanters besides myself, no vote can be held. I could name myself Grand Enchanter, but the title holds no meaning now. When the circles are restored, that will change.
I've never been to the Montsemart Circle. What was it like?
A place of great history and tradition, with the greatest library of magical history outside of the Imperium. It was deeply involved in the Great Game, as you might expect of anyone living in Orlais. The mages there were quite competitive, but it was stimulating to be always pushed to exceed the abilities of my peers.
How did we come to this state where the Circle's in revolt?
You, my dear, are far too wise not to have realized that many of our colleagues live with their eyes closed. Safe from the world inside their towers, they thought only of the Templars and their own resentment. Kirkwall gave the world a reason to remember its fear of magic. A mage killed hundreds with a snap of their fingers. Across Tedasa, a new tangible fear of magic grew. Commoners and nobles alike called out to the Chantry for protection. But the malcontents in the towers thought nothing of this. They cared only for themselves and for their anger at the new Templar restrictions. When a mage attempted to assassinate Divine Justinia, again, the mages protested the investigation. The leadership chose to vote on independence based on the intolerable conditions imposed by the Templars, sparing no thought to the fact that magic was more feared in the aftermath of these attacks than it had been since Tevinter's day. So long as they had their freedom, they could care little for riots, angry mobs, or about pitting mages against each other.
Are you familiar with Grand Enchanter Fiona?
We've met. Before her horrendously ill-timed and selfish vote for independence, I thought her adequate at her job. In her dotage, she could not handle looking after the well-being of so many people. We would have done better to replace her years ago, to let her spend time gardening.
Did they have cause to rebel?
In the aftermath of their terrorist attacks? Was that really the most opportune time to break away? By all means, protest abuses by the Templars. Just don't do it in a way that says mages support wholesale murder. By voting when they did, my colleagues all but declared war upon the ordinary people of Tedasa. A war in which we are outnumbered 100 to 1.
I thought the fighting was only between mages and Templars. Why are mages fighting mages?
The vote for independence was carried by only a small margin, but Fiona chose to let the motion stand. Those who opposed a rash declaration of war against the entire free world had little choice. By breaking from the Chantry when they did, the rebels declared themselves in support of mass murder. Anyone who did not wish to support terrorism and the slaughter of innocents was forced to take arms against the rebels.
Не обращай внимания, это я так хожу.
Yes?
Это был Округин. Теперь о себе.
I'd like to know more about you, Madame Vivienne.
Whatever would you like to know?
Your accent's not Orlesian. Where exactly are you from?
I am from the Circle, my dear. One's country of origin rarely matters there. But if you must know, I was born in Wycombe in the Free Marches. I was sent to the Ostwick Circle, but I transferred to Monsignor while still an apprentice.
I'm curious how a circle mage winds up at court here.
Nobody winds up at court, my dear. It takes a great deal of effort to arrive there. I caught the eye of Duke Bastien de Ghislaine, an advantageous connection that opened many doors. When the position of Enchanter to the Imperial Court became vacant, I was able to secure it.
You're married to the Duke de Ghislaine?
Of course not, my dear. Don't be ridiculous. Marriage is the business of alliance and inheritance. I'm Bastien's mistress.
And what does the Duchess de Ghislaine think of this arrangement?
We got along quite well. Duchess Nicoline and I used to host musical salons together. She was a great patron of the arts. She passed away from a fever a few years ago, the poor dear.
What duties does a court enchanter have?
I am tasked with providing assistance to the Empress on arcane matters. Most of my predecessors restricted this to lighting lamps and doing parlor tricks. In such troubled times as these, however, I provide political advice to Her Majesty on the subject of the Mage Rebellion.
Do you think that you and I might someday...
How very sweet of you to ask, but no. Yes?
I wanted to ask you about the Circle of Magi.
Of course. What do you wish to know? Yes?
Is there anything I can do to help your efforts at restoring the Circle?
After the Circles fell, their libraries were plundered by scavengers. 1,000 years of recorded knowledge in the hands of bandits. It makes me sick to think of it. I've received news that some tomes have been located, if you are interested in righting this wrong.
I'll look into it for you.
If you can take care of this matter, the Circle would be in your debt. Yes?
Так, с этой дамочкой разобрались. Так, тут какой-то квест. Крем.
Excuse me. I've got a message for the Inquisition, but I'm having a hard time getting anyone to talk to me.
Who are you, soldier?
Cremisius Aclasi with the Bulls Chargers Mercenary Company. We mostly work out of Orlais and Navarra. We've got word of some Tevinter mercenaries gathering out on the Storm Coast. My company commander, Iron Bull, offers the information free of charge. If you'd like to see what the Bulls Chargers can do for the Inquisition, meet us there and watch us work.
What can your Bulls Chargers offer the Inquisition?
We're loyal, we're tough, and we don't break contracts. Ask around Val Royaux. We've got references.
What should I know about your commander?
Iron Bull. He's one of those Kunari, the big guys with the horns. He leads from the front. He pays well, and he's a lot smarter than the last bastard I worked for. Best of all, he's professional. We accept contracts with whoever makes the first real offer. You're the first time he's gone out of his way to pick a side.
Why did your commander send us this information?
Iron Bull wants to work for the Inquisition. He thinks you're doing good work.
I look forward to meeting this Iron Bull.
We're the best you'll find. Come to the Storm Coast and you can see us in action.
Окей. Окей, дружище. Так, Лилиана. У тебя есть какие-нибудь новости?
Anything I should know?
I have nothing to report at the moment.
I'll leave you to your work.
Удачи, Лилиана. Так. Ониксы, ониксы. Так, тут Фарик скучает.
Need something?
Can I ask you something, Varric?
You want to talk about me? I'm flattered. Also inclined toward extravagant lies.
Thanks, Varric.
No problem.
Come to me, child, and I shall embrace you. Can I get you anything?
What can you tell me about this area?
Adarna's Haven's apothecary. He's been making potions and tending to the wounded as best he can. Harris is the Inquisition's smith. Whatever he can make you, Thren the quartermaster can probably find. And for anything fancier, you can try buying from Cedric. His prices aren't too high. Yet. Oh, there's also Minay. She studies beasts and things, as I understand.
Farewell.
Goodbye.
Привет, Сара.
So, this is it, huh? Oh no, it's fine, yeah? It's just, I thought it'd be bigger. Hear that? I meant the stronghold, but it sounded like... Well, it's funny, right? Anyway, stopping wars should earn more sovereigns than this. Need things back to normal for coins to be flowing again. Another reason the Templars and mages need to be sat down.
I'm pretty sure the Conclave proved it's not that easy.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Why? Because someone yelled it real loud? Make them prove it. They're too busy to look up where the real questions are.
Is there something else you're looking for? Like what's behind all this?
Maybe. I don't know. First things first, right? I help you, march, arrow, kick. Then people stop being stupid, and everything starts to make sense again. Sound good to you, all-chosen Lord Herald?
I'm ready to give it a shot. That's all I can ask from anyone else.
I'm in. It's an investment, yeah? Better pay off, too. Stupid war and everything. I had things to do.
Коротенький какой-то диалог с Сарой.
Chasing the Lord Seeker, I hear. Anyone who thinks they need Lord in front of the name, that's bad. Bet he's got a portrait taller than he is. That's your first clue to a total arse. Fact.
What do you think about the people who have gathered?
Which? The ones who do things or the ones who give orders?
What about Solus?
Solus? His head's crammed up 1,000 years ago.
Anything to say about Varric?
Varric? Too clever. Always saying something, but never saying it straight.
Thoughts about Cassandra?
Not as buttoned up as she plays, right? tough, though. I'd stand behind her in front of anything.
What's your opinion of Vivienne?
She's a bitch, but she knows. She better.
What do you think about our spy master, ambassador, and commander?
Liliana is pretty in places. Swear I've seen her, too. Or heard she used to play. But that'd be mad. Now, Josephine, she's as good at humbling her kind as I am. Just with less mess. Knows her business, if you have to have it. And Cullen, I suppose if you want a jackboot, you get a big one so you can grow into it. Nice there, though.
We'll talk later.
Good, right? I'll be here. Chasing mages, that's a Templar's job. A big, armored, pissed-off helm polisher. Not too late to go find some. Or stay home.
Is the Inquisition what you thought it would be?
Calling an Inquisition is a bit much, isn't it? Does not even know what they're chasing. Fair question for me as well, I suppose. Everybody following a rumor. At least I'm used to that.
Tell me about yourself.
What about me?
How about the basics? Where are you from?
Ferelden?
I got that from the accent. Where in Ferelden?
All over? Okay, fine. Denerim for a bit. South, north, wherever I want.
There are no connections you want to mention at all?
Nope. It's complicated. I don't like complicated. Let's leave it at that. Maybe.
You're skilled. Who taught you how to use a bow?
No one.
That seems unlikely.
What? I picked it up here and there. Mostly it just makes sense. It's not like that for you.
Oh, certainly. Not a day's effort for the naturally gifted like us.
Well, it's not like that. It takes work. A bit. Not like Cullen and his pecs. I mean, you miss, then you don't. Is it that hard to see when it's wrong?
Is it an elf thing?
Most I know couldn't find an arrow sitting on it. Right. Maybe I just make it look easy in shite company. Fact still is, no teacher. Where would I find one in alleyways anyway?
You're not like most of the elves I've met.
Thanks, right? Or was that an insult? I suppose I could go barefoot and whine them. Like that's soulless, right? Never be as good as we were. Well, who's we? I'm just fine.
There's nothing to learn from any of that history.
Yes, don't do that. What? We lost so bad there was nothing left. You figure out what they wore on their deathbed. You wear it. Waste of time.
We'll talk later.
If you say so. Sitting and waiting. Great, yeah?
I was wondering if you could look at some locks for me.
What, the doors under the chantry?
You know about them?
Places have doors. I just wasn't interested in poking through some sister's breeches. Whatever floats you. Consider them open, yeah? Hey, it's you again.
You apparently have a lot of friends. Tell me about your network.
It's not mine, right? I mean, it is, but it's also everyone. Everyone who wants to shove it to nobles who hide behind gold and silk. And hats, I guess.
Are you just about pranks and revenge, or is there more to it?
Well, it's a weave, right? I grease a ballroom, so a wyvern chasing Git has to hunt sprained. Strangely, handmaids leave his vault open. His heirlooms pay off someone else. Maybe clean streets in Kirkwall, so someone gets something else. Pish, pish, pish. A lot of people eventually get help or a laugh. Or maybe someone dead, if they deserve it.
I'm glad I met you before someone decided what I deserved.
You're no hateful ass so far. I'd just get you with a pie or something. Anyway, assassin's a bard's job, innit? No fun, that lot. They might plonk a noble, right? But only to raise another. Plus, I'm shite at singing.
Is Red Jenny real? Or was she always just you and your friends?
Dunno.
Don't you care?
Not if it works. I mean, red is scary because blood. And Jenny is Look, nobody fears the bunch of people who do random stuff. And besides, it's easy. Nobles want a bogeyman because they need to believe normal people can't get at them. Numbers, right? It don't have to be so complicated.
Doesn't this mean people think you're guilty of more than you actually do?
Suppose. Does it matter?
Shouldn't it?
Important people kill over imagined insults. I've made more than enough real ones, so no. I don't suppose it does.
Where are the people you promised?
If I knew, there wouldn't be much use. That's sort of the point. Look, unless your baddies are rocks or trees, they have people they use. Cooks, squires, wipers. Yeah, I know. Wipers, right? You better believe the one with wipers deserve it. Right in the... Well, anyway. The little people will be there when you need them. In a million little ways.
Seems like there's no way the people who contribute could even know what they're helping with.
Don't need to. Maybe some ask for a target, a note like. But maybe they plan something just to help mess with things. I did something happened. That's a wish for some people. Probably not heralds. Anyway, sometimes I don't even do anything and people think I did, because something happened anyway. That's good too. Free payday. And free blame rate. But whatever.
I can play along if it works for you.
You have a choice. Hail the Inquisition.
Ну, она такая
It's all good, isn't it?
своеобразная девчушка, действительно. Soul S.
As I explored the Fade, I felt the presence of an intriguing artifact in the hinterlands. If you are willing, I would like to locate it. I have marked its location as best I could determine.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye. What can I do for you?
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Так. Ну, пока осталось только 2 человека. Это Каллен и Кассандра.
Yes?
That's enough for now.
Another time, then.
Did you need something? Is there anything I should know?
The Lord Seeker's actions are a mystery, but the Templars will aid us. They cannot sit idle while the breach remains.
Is there anything I should know?
Redcliffe wasn't always a refuge for mages. Some of our recruits have family there. They fear for the place, as do I.
Is there anything I should know?
Not at present.
I'd like to know more about the Templars.
If you need insight into what the Order is doing now, I'm afraid I can't offer more than you already know. Anything else, I will answer as best I can.
What does Templar training involve?
There is weapon and combat training. Even without their abilities, Templars are among the best warriors in Tedasa. Initiates must also memorize portions of the Chant of Light, study history, and improve their mental focus.
Did you enjoy your training?
I wanted to learn everything. If I was giving my life to this, I would be the best Templar I could.
You were a model student.
I wanted to be. I wasn't always successful. Watching a candle burn down while reciting the Chant of Transfigurations wasn't the most exciting task. I admit, my mind sometimes wandered.
Do Templars take vows? I swear to the Maker to watch all the mages. That sort of thing?
There's a vigil first. You're meant to be at peace during that time, but your life is about to change. When it's over, you give yourself to a life of service. That's when you're given a filter, your first draft of Lyrium and its power. As Templars, we are not to seek wealth or acknowledgement. Our lives belong to the Maker and the path we have chosen.
Prior to the Conclave, I'd only encountered Templars in the Circle. Do they do anything besides guard mages?
Templars protect against the dangers of magic. Before the Order left the Chantry, that meant serving in a circle. They were also tasked with tracking apostates or fighting demons inevitably summoned by the weak or malicious.
What do you think of mages? Are they all a threat?
I've seen the suffering magic can inflict. I've treated mages with distrust because of it, at times without cause. That was unworthy of me. I will try not to do so here. Not that I want mages moving through our base completely unchecked. We need safeguards in place to protect people, including mages, from possession at the least.
Why did you join the Order?
I could think of no better calling than to protect those in need. I used to beg the Templars as our local chantry to teach me. At first, they merely humored me. I must have shown promise, or at least a willingness to learn. The Knight Captain spoke to my parents on my behalf. They agreed to send me for training. I was 13 when I left home.
13. It's still so young.
I wasn't the youngest there. Some children are promised to the Order at infancy. Still, I didn't take on full responsibilities until I was 18. The Order sees you trained and educated first.
What about your family? Did you miss them?
Of course, but there were many my age who felt the same. We learned to look out for one another.
I know how I spent my time in the Circle, but what was a typical day for a Templar?
The Circle was right before it fell apart. Nothing was typical.
Before that, then?
Certain rituals require a full guard. A mage's howling, for instance. I've attended a few. Most of the time, you merely maintain a presence, on patrol or in the Circle, ready to respond if needed. Mages pretend to ignore that presence, but they're watching you just as closely.
We would spend all day with Templars, and yet they rarely spoke to us.
A habit often mistaken for coldness, I'm sure. But we are expected to keep a certain distance from our charges. If a mage is possessed or uses blood magic, you must act quickly, without hesitation. Your judgment cannot be clouded. Of course, ignoring one another does nothing to foster understanding.
That's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
I'm sure you have other matters to attend.
О, да. У меня масса дел.
With passionate breath does the darkness creep. It is the whisper in the night.
Так, но мы идем во внутренние земли. Друпала.
Nothing to report, sir.
Thank you again.
These must be the supply caches Whittle asked us to find.
Сопли кашут. Supplies for recruit Whittle. Собираем попутно ресурсы. Драконий камень. Это достаточно нередкий ресурс. Мейкер take you. Да заберет тебя Создатель. Фенек. Драконий камень зачастую встречается еще чаще, чем железо.
More supplies for recruit Whittle.
You're from a rich family, Cassandra.
Not every Pentagast is wealthy. I certainly was not once my parents were executed.
You say that like it's normal. But I suppose you did live with the dead.
If by dead you mean a Mortalitasi necromancer, a keeper of the dead, then yes.
Well, that sounds shit.
Hence my joining the Chantry.
Ох, набили мы, набили. Куча дропа. Постоянно кто-то дерется. Войны ж разрывает Тедас. Но ведь удивительно, это ж все как бы продумано. Продумано, так сказать, заранее. Что-то я не понял. А туда попадать не надо. Такая своеобразная обманочка. Так, ну что, нет смысла тратить время на беготню.
More supplies for recruit Whittle.
Так. Сейчас мы... Поможем Солосу чуть-чуть. Хули ты полез спать, блядь? Да чтоб тебя, что ты туда лезешь? Отдыхать, сука, тебе лишь бы полезть и ни хера не делать, да? Не пущают. По пути. Я не путю. Да ёшкин матрёшкин.
Watch your step, right?
Welcome back.
If you say so.
It's good to have commerce receipts.
Could be better.
Not me.
Frost every morning. They'll be losing toes soon enough.
I found some of the apostate's supply stores. I can mark the locations for you.
I'll get out there myself with a few men and pick them up. This will keep a lot more refugees alive next time it snows. I appreciate it.
Have you seen it twice?
just what I heard.
Oh.
I'll ask around again.
That's what. Thank you.
Is anything we can do? Just ask.
Thank you. What do you need?
It's good to have commerce restored. Not many goods here.
Watch yourself. Bandits up ahead. Or something anyway. They're blocking the road.
You don't think they're bandits?
Bandits wait until people are vulnerable, then hit them fast so nobody escapes. These bastards show themselves too early. They care more about driving people away than taking loot. They're either stupid, or they're more than just bandits. And they're too well armed for stupid.
What can you tell me about the attackers on the road?
Several groups, some of them with bows. They've got better armor than most around here. It's too many for us. If you head out there, careful you don't get flanked. They don't take prisoners.
Thanks for the warning.
Bandits ahead!
According to my research, the ancient elves may have set up wards near here. If we can find the artifacts they used, it may help strengthen this area against tears.
Danger to you. My name is Maris. By your weapons, I see you come ready for battle. Perhaps we face a common enemy in these demons.
Are you fighting the demons on your own?
Fighting the demons is pointless. There will always be more, and I have no means of closing the rifts. But I have heard of elven artifacts that measure the veil. They may tell us where new rifts will appear. I was not expecting so many demons, however. I believe one of the artifacts is nearby. Can you help me reach it?
It sounds worth investigating.
Thank you. It shouldn't be too much farther ahead. Thank you for joining me. I do not think I could have done this alone. To get by.
What manner of fire is that?
I have heard of this, but never seen it before. It is called Veil Fire. It is a form of sympathetic magic, a memory of flame that burns in this world with the veil within. It sense elven magic somewhere nearby. Yes, the wards are helping to strengthen the veil. This area should be safer for travelers now.
There. If we activate that crystal, it should react to the strength of the veil. Well, that should prove useful. And it seems the ancestors left something for me as well. Interesting. I believe our alliance is concluded. Go in peace, stranger.
Do you even know what you're holding? How it will interact with the veil, the breach, the demons? I have the knowledge to use what you found safely. You don't.
Perhaps you're right. Here, take it. Go with Mithal's blessing.
Oh, for shit's sake, it's messing with the runes.
Но я знаю как минимум. Одно место. Где есть такой артефакт еще. Давайте убьем разбойников и разобьем там лагерь. Недописанное письмо разбойника. Нам, герои, не нужны. Нам платят за то, чтобы все было тихо и торговля благополучно шла в стороне до восточной дороги. Иногда, если это разумно, позволяйте кому-нибудь скрыться. Пусть будет больше слухов об опасности этих мест. Когда в этом смысла нет, убивайте всех вне зависимости от принадлежности.
This would be a good place to set up camp.
Письмо во внутренних землях. Пробные раскопки оказались более чем успешными. Удивительно, что удалось найти продукт в таком количестве настолько близко к поверхности. Если бы я не знал, что это, подумал бы, что он здесь буквально растет. С одной стороны, это дает нам преимущество. Наши семьи могут получить неплохой навар, причем без необходимости работать со старыми арзамарскими семьями и даже без официальных гильдейских кланов. С другой стороны, близость к поверхности и населенным районам Редклифа делает задачку весьма непростой. Война между магами и храмовниками пока удерживает жителей в стороне, но как только людям надоест убивать друг друга, безопасность наших дел окажется под угрозой. Если мы хотим воспользоваться шансом, надо помешать жителям вернуться сюда. Предлагаю изобрести каких-нибудь разбойников. В этой части Ферелдена их полно, так что много внимания они не привлекут. И никто не станет сомневаться, что на какой-то территории вовсю орудует шайка. К тому моменту, когда наша операция обнаружит, все дело либо провалится, но тогда мы уже исчезнем, либо будет идти гладко, тогда мы будем достаточно богаты, чтобы спокойно все отрицать и подбросить властям деньжат в качестве извинения. Поговорите с семьями и запустим процесс. Слишком уж хороша возможность, чтобы ее упускать. Вот хитрые сучары. Так, лагерь разбили. А тут еще кое-что. Там сидит дракон.
Whoa, she's up.
Дракон 12 уровня. Естественно, мы ему сейчас не ровня. Естественно, мы не ровня дракона 12 уровня. Так, и там же астрариум, окуляриум, которому нам пока не добраться. Иллириум. Ну что ж. Так, а тут зимовахтенная пещера и убежище. Буквально, да. Под раздачу попал. Вот я не просто сюда иду. Я знаю. Что я видел? Такой артефакт на балконе убежища этого. О, сундучок. Откуда он тут взялся? И почему я его не видел в прошлый раз? Ну ладно. Вот. Он на том балконе. Такой же самый артефакт, как мы только что нашли с Солосом.
We're near another artifact.
Во-во-во. Солос дело знает.
Excellent. The wards are functioning again.
Так, теперь штормовой берег. Там буквально нас просят, нам надо встретиться с этим чуваком, с железным быком.
Your worship, for what it's worth, welcome to the Storm Coast. I would have sent word sooner, but our efforts have been delayed.
How so?
There's a group of bandits operating in the area. They know the terrain, and our small party has had trouble going up against them. Some of our soldiers went to speak with their leader. Haven't heard back, though.
I'll do what I can to find our people.
Thank you, your worship. That's a relief. The soldiers didn't have an exact location for the bandits, but they were starting their search farther down the beach. With all this fuss, we haven't been able to conduct a proper search for the wardens either. Well, good luck, and enjoy the sea air. I hear it's good for the soul.
What is it?
Could prove useful, sir.
сеча.
Chargers! Stand down! Prim! How'd we do?
5 or 6 wounded, Chief. No dead.
That's what I like to hear. Let the throat cutters finish up, then break out the casks. So, you're with the Inquisition, huh? Glad you can make it. Come on, have a seat. Drinks are coming.
Nicely done. I hear you're looking for work.
I am. Not before my drink, though. I assume you remember Cremisius Aclassi, my lieutenant.
Good to see you again. Throat cutters are done, Chief.
Already? Have them check again. I don't want any of those Tevinter bastards getting away. No offense, Krem.
None taken. At least a bastard knows who his mother was. Puts him one up on you Canary, right?
So, you've seen us fight. We're expensive, but we're worth it. And I'm sure the Inquisition can afford us.
How much is this going to cost me, exactly?
Wouldn't cost you anything personally. Unless you want to buy drinks later. Your ambassador, what's her name? Josephine. We'd go through her and get the payments set up. Gold will take care of itself. Don't worry about that. All that matters is we're worth it.
The Chargers seem like an excellent company.
They are, but you're not just getting the boys. You're getting me. You need a frontline bodyguard. I'm your man. Whatever it is. Demons? Dragons? The bigger the better. And there's one other thing. Might be useful. Might piss you off. Ever hear of the Ben Hasra?
They're a Canary organization, right? The equivalent of their guards and City Watch.
I'd go closer to spies. But yeah, that's them. Or, well, us. The Ben Hasrath are concerned about the breach. Magic out of control like that could cause trouble everywhere. I've been ordered to join the Inquisition, get close to the people in charge, and send reports on what's happening. But I also get reports from Ben Hasrath agents all over Orlais. You sign me on, I'll share them with your people.
You're a Canary spy, and you just told me?
Whatever happened at that conclave thing, it's bad. Someone needs to get that breach closed. So whatever I am, I'm on your side.
You still could have hidden what you are.
From something called the Inquisition. I'd have been tipped sooner or later. Better you hear it right up front from me.
What would you send home in these reports of yours?
Enough to keep my superiors happy. Nothing that'll compromise your operations. The Canary want to know if they need to launch an invasion to stop the whole damn world from falling apart. You let me send word of what you're doing, it'll put some minds at ease. That's good for everyone.
What's in these Ben Hasrath reports you're offering to share?
Enemy movements, suspicious activity, intriguing gossip. It's a bit of everything. Alone they're not much, but if your spy master is worth it, damn, she'll put him to good use.
She?
I did a little research. Plus, I've always had a weakness for redheads.
All right, you're in.
Excellent. Krem, tell the men to finish drinking on the road. The Chargers just got hired.
What about the casks, Chief? We just opened them up with axes.
Find some way to seal them. You're Tevinter, right? Try blood magic. We'll meet you back at Haven.
Nothing to report, sir. Dispatch for you.
What is it?
See for yourself, sir.
Так, ну что ж. Возвращаемся в убежище.
You need anything here? Things safe at here.
Your enchanter Vivienne lives well.
There was no word for heaven or for earth or
I will
sea
take these
or
injury
sky.
reports to research and relay.
Так, посмотрим. Квесты уже должны быть выполнены все, что я делал. Секреты Андрасты. Что примечательно, руны по происхождению принадлежат Аламарии, племенам, населявшим Ферауден почти 1000 лет назад. Что еще любопытно, ни одна из рун не переводится непосредственно, они представляют собой сплошной язык загадок. Так, согласно переводчикам, руна «Страж» может означать также остров возле северного побережья. Интересно, я продолжу работу по переводу. Возможно, удастся выцепить какой-то более узкий смысл. Ну, пока золото получили. Тут ничего. Ну, можно пойти к храмовникам. Правда ли распад? Отчет. Соловей. Гонимся за сотни теней. Все ведут к озеру Селестин. Дворяне говорят, в это время года там просто чудесный рыбак. Влияние 30. Выбрать преемника в Лайте. Источник Бен Хазрат призывает обратить внимание на текущую борьбу за наследство в Лайте. Отсутствует непосредственный правитель со времени гибели герцога Ремарша. Герцогство перейдет к одному из 3 членов семейства покойного герцога, из которых все имеют равные права на место в силу сложной структуры алисианской политики. Либо к его двоюродной сестре Каролине, уже герцогине по браку, либо к дочери Монетти, чьи требования омрачено юношеской наивностью и тем фактом, что отец после смерти жены склонил ее к жизни в услужении церкви. Вероятно, чтобы оградить от опасности игры, либо к брату Жану Гаспару, честолюбивому и хитрому человеку, жадному до власти. Каролина способна и не слишком вкладывается в то, чтобы управлять Лейтсом лично. Монетой будет легче всего манипулировать, но и пользы от нее самому не будет. Жаном Гаспаром манипулировать будет труднее всего, и он может быть опасен, если займет место брата. Каждый из 3 кандидатов может стать ценным союзником для Инквизиции, но перед этим следует исключить из игры 2 остальных. Ну, давайте доверимся Калину. Рыжая Дженни, оброни и возьми. Ничего не понимает, вестник ее подобрал. Может, он подскажет? Приписка Калина на записке от Церы. Для твоих вумников лорд такой-сякой и на всех вас клал. Его слуги пока не чесались, но могут оборонить, и для них хоть что-то. Жозефине от них будет сюрприз. Свитки какие-нибудь, я думаю, сэра. Ниже на корявый герб, указывающий к действию и имя сэра 37 раз. А нам нужны посредники, заберем добро и все. Дворянин нам спасибо скажет. Герб принадлежит довольно мелкому роду, может быть, лучше выясним, что за сюрприз? Да, давай. Жозефина, ты с этим справишься. Так, ребята, а на этом я заканчиваю эту часть прохождения игры Dragon Age Inquisition. С вами был Ас, вы смотрели канал Смудиан ТВ. Подписывайтесь, ставьте лайки, оставляйте комментарии. И до следующей встречи. Пока-пока.